Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for Southern Oregon High School Baseball on TableRockSports.net. Jim McCoy along with Mark McLemore and Wyatt Rainey getting set to bring you a pair of crosstown rivals. And this time there's more than just a little bit of pride on the line as the Challengers and Crusaders represent two of the top four teams in District 4 baseball, and then all those four teams are among the top 10 in the Oregon 3A. So there's a lot on the line. Challengers 2 games out in front of Brookings Harbor and South Umpqua in District 4, but a game behind the 2 second-place teams are the Crusaders with 4 losses on the campaign, and they're feeling pretty good after a doubleheader sweep of the Sutherland Bulldogs on Friday. Challengers coming in, riding into last Friday's game. Opener win for Austin Waits against Brookings Harbor. Then the Challengers ran into a little bit of, more than anything, defensive hard luck in the nightcap of the ball game, and they ended up having a 16-game winning streak come to an end. But Mark, it's like if one thing comes to an end, it's time to start up something new. And even though we're not, when we think rivalries, a lot of times we think of that in the context of football and basketball. But in many ways, if you think about it, I don't know. You being a Giants fan, me being a Dodgers fan, we know a thing or two about rivalries in baseball, and certainly the Crusaders and the Challengers no less than that.
Well, there's no doubt about that. These two teams have played a lot of games over the years that have been really closely contested. There's been years when the Challengers have been vying for state championships, and there's been years when the Crusaders have been vying for state championships, and the games have always been competitive and very close. And these two teams like to get after each other, and it shows on the baseball field, I think, just as much as any of the other competitive sports that they engage in.
Well, as we look at the Challengers and Crusaders going into this afternoon's action, that we're talking about a couple of. Now I'm getting this sound in from where, I don't know. Okay, well we're back with that. I think Joe, if you're watching down the way, I think Terry Ross is trying to get a hold of you. But anyway, the Challengers and Crusaders, well, we got our mulligan out of the way
there
now.
You go. All done.
Yeah. But anyway, the Challengers and Crusaders, as you say, it wasn't that many years ago. I was thinking probably actually when I came out and did Friday's game between the Crusaders and the Bulldogs, that was been the first time I'd been on the field since St. Mary's played Santiam Christian in a playoff game as the Crusaders were making a state championship run back in the days of Joe Johnson.
Yeah, they had a very good team that year, if you remember right. A couple of guys on that team went on to play baseball at the college level. And
right.
A very good state championship team that year for St. Mary's.
Well, here it is with the Challengers. I would say, Mark, and you can speak to this better than I can, having been a long association both as a coach and as a baseball dad for several years with the Challengers. But this might just be the best hitting team that the Challengers have had since your son Joel's freshman year.
Well, I think so. I think there's a lot of good bats on this team. And, really for this team, bats have not been the question this year. It's been, can they pitch? And they've done a decent job of it all year long. You look at some of their scores, though, they've given up a lot of runs this year, but they've managed to outscore their opponents on those occasions in most cases. So it's been a team that is very athletic and really hits the ball, fields pretty well. And they've got a couple of pitchers. They're looking to find a couple more to be a really, really good team.
Well, you can see the Crusaders are out on the field defensively. Looking at the batting order for the Challengers, leading off and playing shortstop is Cody Reese. He'll be followed in the order by the power-hitting catcher, Tristan Wallace. Hitting third is the pitcher, Owen Thompson. Hitting cleanup is the third baseman, Austin Waits. The number 5 spot will be left fielder Cole Shields. Hitting sixth and playing first will be Actually, that will be, and he's playing right field today, is Ashton Moody. Liam Bonatti's hitting 7th and playing first. C.J. Bonner is at second base and hitting 8th, and the number 9 hitter is the center fielder, Keith Reed. The Challengers coached by Kevin Schaefer, assisted by Clark Bonner, Andy Osborne, Jay Segura, and Nate Maben. For the Crusaders defensively, they will come out this afternoon with Johnson at first, Gomez at second. Playing third will be Grant Russo, and the shortstop will be Segalink. From left to right, it will be Hamilton, Haynes in center, and Tyson Del Planche playing right field. Well, we're glad that you could join us, and we're glad to be here. That after kind of being a plug-and-play guy for Table Rock Sports during the spring, seeing a little bit of 6A baseball and softball, gotten introduced to play at the 3A ranks in the last few days, and I've been looking forward to this one.
Should be a good game, as we see. Looks like Cody Reese getting ready to step into the box and waiting the first pitch from Bo Aldridge.
So, game getting underway. It'll be Reese against Bo Aldridge. He looked sharp against the Bulldogs on Friday.
A little hard to tell whether that was a strike or a ball there on the first pitch.
Well, that's where I am grateful that we got that scoreboard just to our right. To give you perspective for those of you familiar with Meese Field, we are down the first baseline near this little park and play structure that they have down here. And right now, and one thing we'll see, Mark, is Aldrich doesn't waste any time working on the hill.
Yeah, he's got 2 strikes on Reese right off the bat. Throws him a high fastball for ball 1. And Cody, a good leadoff guy. You always want to take a few pitches when you're the leadoff guy and give your hitters behind you a chance to see what the pitcher's got.
1-2 the count. Opening hitter of the ball game. And that'll even up the count at 2-2.
Curveball that time looked like it was a little inside to Cody. I'd be looking for the fastball here, 2-2, if I'm Cody on this next pitch. And he got it. He popped it up.
Popped up on the infield. Johnson's got to run in on it, and looks like that one will fall harmlessly to the turf as...
No, somebody caught it.
They caught it? Oh, he did. You're right, he did.
I think somebody caught it back there. I think it was the pitcher, maybe. Aldridge.
Bo Aldridge, and you will see him pitching. Also, he plays the infield corners as well.
So a pop out by Cody to start the game.
The Crusaders, coached by Josh Aldrich. And, of course, we know Bo from football. He was kind of their power guy.
Curveball from Aldridge to Wallace, probably a smart move, as Tristan loves the first pitch fastball hit.
Tristan Wallace, 6 home runs on the year, and can't say for sure, but I believe that's got to be close to a team record.
Probably. 1-1 now. Fastball a little outside.
It's weird to think that in the Challengers' first championship season in 2012, they only hit 1 home run all year. But that was a team rich in pitching.
Yep, another fastball high. Tristan looking for his pitch here.
Tristan plays catcher. And I would say if you didn't already see so many big guys on the team, I know he's very capable. I've seen him in the Northwest Summer Showcase last summer playing a little first base.
Very athletic kid. He can probably play just about anywhere, first, third, or catcher. Probably not the middle infield positions, but anywhere else. And he gets hit by a little bit inside curveball, and he gets down to first base.
So Wallace will take one for the team. He'll give the Challengers their first base runner of the day. And that'll bring up the number 3 hitter, Owen Thompson. And not only can this kid pitch, but he can rake as well.
He's a good, solid hitter.
Thompson, a junior.
Ball 1 up to Owen on the fastball.
gotta make that pitcher work a little bit. And it's like you say, you want to see, his arsenal a bit. These two teams, this is their first look at each other head-to-head in the season.
2-0 on a curveball that didn't break. It looked like it's just stayed up on Aldridge.
Wallace, who has pretty good speed, he's taking a pretty good, healthy lead off of first.
Another fastball for a strike this time. Owen swinging over the top of it.
Throw over to first, and that one gets away. Wallace will go ahead and truck down to second base. So the Challengers now have a runner in scoring position with one down in the bottom of the first. Aldrich with the throw over. Got away from the first baseman, Johnson. Probably not exactly what he had game planned for today, but he has shown from what I've seen an ability. He has that poise to work his way out of jams.
Another curveball in the dirt. It's 3-1 now to Owen. And he's going to be looking for a fastball right here. And he's a good fastball hitter, so we'll see what he does.
Austin waits on deck for Cascade. Ulrich, a little bouncing ball.
Foul outside of third.
That'll run the count full to 3-2.
Certainly working on Aldridge's pitch count already here in the first inning. He's thrown 5, 10, 15 pitches already. And he's only got one out so far.
In the heart of the Challenger order, he's dealing with now. Thompson, then Waits, then Cole Shields. That is what you call running the gauntlet.
Yeah, absolutely. Curveball, good pitch. Nice pitch that time by Aldridge to get out number 2.
So on Friday, Aldrich throwing 5 innings of shutout baseball against the Sutherland Bulldogs. Saw a little bit of Johnson on the hill along with Grant Russo.
Another curveball for a ball to start off Waits. And he obviously knows that these Challenger hitters are fastball guys for the most part. He's going to go to that breaking pitch often. We've seen it already.
Waits will pop this one up down the first base side, and that'll end up on the track infield. And that'll even up the count at 1-1.
Waits a little behind the fastball after he saw the curveball for ball 1. Hadn't really seen the fastball yet. A little behind it there. Fouls it off down the first baseline. Challengers needing a hit here to get a run in the first.
Aldrich looks back to second. And we have a fly ball out to deep center field there to make the play for the Crusaders is Eli Haynes. And that will end the Challenger threat in the top of the first. For Cascade, no runs, no hits, and no Crusader errors. We'll take a quick timeout, and when we return, we'll bring you more baseball action here on TableRockSports.net.
You're a coach, or plan to be a coach. What kind of coach do you want to be? This?
Hey! What is that? Come on, guy! You're killing me!
Or this?
I love it. I love what I see. I don't care about the mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Guys making millions of dollars on Sunday, they make mistakes.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.org.
There's a time machine, not so far away, that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day, and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens, called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
And we're back at Meese Field at St. Mary's High School in Medford. Go to the bottom of the first, and taking the hill is right-hander Owen Thompson. Thompson, we don't really have any stats on him for the year, but the opening game of the series against Brookings Harbor last week, not only did he drive in all 3 runs that the Challengers scored, but he tossed a free hitter.
Yeah, and he's been their ace this year. He's been the one guy they can count on to throw strikes, and also to just keep guys off balance. He's got a multitude of pitches. He's got a little curveball to go with his fastball, and he also has a knuckleball that he'll throw for a changeup. So,
oh wow,
a lot of different stuff that you'll see from Owen. And he's not afraid to use any pitch in any count, and he can throw almost all of them for strikes pretty consistently. So, definitely the kind of guy that you want to start off a series with another team, to be your guy that can get you some outs early. And we talked about it before. It's always interesting in high school to figure out the whole pitch count thing. So we'll see how both teams kind of go about that tonight.
Thompson comes to the plate.
First pitch is a strike.
And that's the way you always like to start. At the infield behind him, we got Liam Bonatti at first, C.J. Bonner at second. Playing short is Cody Reese, and over at third is Austin Waits. And the count even up at 1-1.
Pretty good looking pitch there. I guess it was called high.
Thompson winds and fires. He gets that one over.
It looked like his knuckle curve or slider that time. 2 strikes now. See the infielders at third and first move back a bit with 2 strikes on the hitter. And threw that one right by him. Fastball for strike 3.
Leadoff man for the Crusaders, Johnson, goes down. And we have 1 out in the inning. The batting order for the Crusaders. As I watch our tarp try to fly away, I guess I should have battened down the hatches on that one. But it'll be Johnson, followed by Ian Lawrence, Pent Lane catcher. Number 3 hitter is Bo Aldrich pitching. The cleanup man is Eli Haynes, the center fielder. Now up to the plate is Lawrence. Count goes even now at 1-1 with 1 down in the inning. The return from the catcher Wallace gets away from Thompson. That rolls back, and so Bonner gets a little workout. As it looks like we got some sleet trying to happen here.
a little bit of hail, I think, coming down actually.
Swing by Lawrence. Went fishing there, and that'll even the count up at 2-2. Swing and a miss.
And 2 strikeouts now for Thompson.
So 2 down on the inning, and so far, the making of a pitcher's duel. Alrighty. Count now going full, and actually it looks like we still got Lawrence up there, and he draws the walk. So our apologies there. I'm working on battening
down the hatches.
Yes, but Lawrence gets aboard, drawing the bases on balls from Owen Thompson. So 1 man down, and Bo Aldrich with an opportunity to help his cause. He'll look at that one and gets ahead in the count against Thompson. Thompson looks over to first. Lawrence goes. And he got a good jump on the...
Yeah, the pitch was way wide and allowed, really, Tristan to have no chance.
So the
ball was way outside.
Count will go 2-0 to the Crusaders pitcher. Big guy, about 6'3", about 240.
So Lawrence gets run for here because he's a catcher in high school. You can run for your catcher. After
That's right.
he's told second base, they insert
Healy
to run for him.
Fly ball out to right field. Ashton Moody closes the glove on it. Tagging up is Healy. And they try the play at third.
Luckily, it bounces off the good job of backing up by Owen Thompson and bounces off the Crusader fence in front of their dugout. And Owen's able to pick that up and get. So a nice play by Ashton Moody out and right and getting that ball in quickly to limit it to just one base. So the Crusaders with a runner at third now.
You always like having a good arm out in right field for just that reason. Cleanup hitter Eli Haynes is up. Haynes, another one of those multi-sport athletes, quarterback for the football team back in the fall. He's ahead in the count. 1-0. Two down in the inning. Thompson comes to the plate. Count goes even at 1-1.
Good fastball that time by Thompson.
That one fouled off, out of play. So now Thompson ahead in the count at 1-2, 2 down, but there's a runner at third. Ground ball hit to Waits. Waits throws across the infield and
throws it in the
Haynes
dirt.
is aboard.
An error on Waits allows the first run of the ball game.
That one just one of those that it kind of went on the bounce there to Liam Bonatti at first base. And I think he was going to have a tough time getting that one across as it was anyway.
It was he got a kind of a tough hop off the infield grass.
Runner Haynes goes, throws down to second base though.
And he's out.
Nice throw. Crime doesn't pay for Haynes and the Crusaders, and that will end things in the first, but not before the Crusaders get on the board. They turn a walk into a run, and it's the Crusaders 1, the Challengers nothing. We'll be back with the top of the second following these messages on TableRockSports.net.
Family gather and memories are made. Tap Rock Northwest Grill.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Sherm's Thunderbird Market has been serving Southern Oregon for over 50 years. We are thankful and proud to be able to say that our employees are like family, and we certainly couldn't serve Southern Oregon so well without them.
I love my job, and what better place to work than for the people who care about you and your community.
We really are treated more like family rather than just employees.
Our loyal customers make my job fun and more enjoyable.
Sherm's is now hiring. Go to our website to see what positions are available.
Top of the second, leading off for the Challengers will be Cole Shields. Shields, like Tristan Wallace, a transfer over from South Medford. He's playing left field today. And another one of those athletes, I think, much like Wallace, Cole is one of those guys, I think we're just discovering what it is that he can do.
Yeah, and he can do a lot. He's a very, very athletic kid, very coordinated kid, and has been, looks like, moving up in the Cascade lineup.
Indeed.
As I've seen games so far this season, he was further down in the lineup, but he's hitting the ball, and you know what that does. It moves you up in the lineup.
It sure does. Little bouncing ball over to third base. Throw across the infield is in time.
Got a nice charity hop over there at third base.
Yeah, Austin's thinking, where was that one?
On the last play, right?
Yeah. Playing over at third today is Grant Russo, and he's a guy, talk about athletic guys. Russo, one of those guys that will move around quite a bit. You'll see him on the hill. You'll see him out left playing third. And we have Ashton Moody. And again, talking about the mashers and some of the big guys that the Challengers have in their lineup. Moody being a tall lefty, you would think, playing him at first base, but there's only so many places to go. Moody, fly ball to deep center field.
And a great play out there by Haynes, right at the fence, and I mean right at the fence.
I tell you what, that was a fly ball and a half, and Haynes just about ran out of room. I'm going to estimate that about, 330 feet, 335 maybe?
Yeah, that was right on the fence. It could have went over, I think, if he didn't catch it before it got there. So a nice play by Haynes in center for the second out of the inning, and that brings up Liam Bonatti.
Liam evens the count up at 1-1. Another big fella at about 6 foot, 6'1", probably right around 240, 250 pounds. 2 down in the inning. One of my broadcasters, he's kind of one of the leaders in the class. I know if the freshmen get too squirrely that I can sick Wyatt and Liam on them and shape them up.
Curveball for a strike.
That'll even up things now at 2-2. Bonatti went yard Friday against the Brookings Harbor Bruins.
Got him on a curveball.
So Aldrich in fine form this inning for the Challengers. No runs, no hits, and no Crusaders errors. We'll take a quick timeout. On the other side of the break, we'll have the bottom of the second for you. The Crusaders and the Challengers on TableRockSports.net.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
St. Mary's.
Yes, sir.
I think ZZ Top would be proud of that beard. We're just admiring the first base coach for St. Mary's Crusaders. That is one, shall we say, classic beard. Thompson getting ready to go to work.
Gomez is the batter here to start the bottom of the second for the Crusaders.
Gomez playing second base today for St. Mary's. Looked good in the opening game where I got to see him last Friday.
And gets ahead in the count 2-0, and he's not a very big guy, so got a little strike zone up there. See if Thompson can find it. He does.
We talk about quick workers. Owen doesn't waste any time either.
No, and that's what I loved about him when I was coaching him before, is he does not mess around. He throws pitches, and as an infielder, as a baseball player, you love to have a pitcher out there that just works.
Absolutely. Keeps your head in the game, and I don't know, it just works well all the way around.
And he's just going to tag him out on strike 3.
One down in the inning.
Nice curveball that time by Owen to get the third strike.
Well, I'll bring up Grant Russo.
Third baseman, I think, today, are correct?
That is correct.
Ball high from Owen.
Russo, a versatile player and a guy you'll see in a lot of different positions.
Curveball there by Owen for strike 1.
And you're going to see that thing just, that drop it takes right there as it makes its way through the zone.
Fastball for a strike. Love to come back after the curveball with an inside fastball, and that's what you saw there. Hard to catch up with it when you just saw the curveball the pitch before.
So Thompson working a good count there.
Another curveball just slightly outside for ball 2. 2-2.
So Thompson wasting no time here in this inning. And getting it done, and he records another K.
Second one of the inning. Third one of the ball game.
Now that'll bring up Tyson Del Planche playing right field for St. Mary's. Another one of those athletic guys. We saw him running back, wide receiver during football season.
He bunts one right back to the mound. And a nice play by Owen. 1-3 on the putout, and the side is retired that quickly.
So the Crusaders go 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the second. We'll pause for messages, and when we return, we'll bring you right back to action. Crusaders lead 1-0 in this ball game. We've got the top of the third coming right up.
At 3 o'clock, Carter's campaign for class president will go live. His platform?
Thirsty for change?
Juice boxes for all. At 4, Liz will bid online and win.
Yes! Yes!
Which is why at 2, I'm down the street preparing for the storm. So no matter what, the show will go on.
Daily adventures start right here at Pinnacle 365. You'll find exactly what you need for your morning motivation. Later in the day, add some crunch to your lunch with crispy, crunchy chickens, mouth-watering chicken, and chicken tenders. Wherever your next adventure takes you, we're here to keep you energized throughout the day. And our new Peak Rewards program helps you save money on fuel so you can travel further for less. Daily adventures are better with Pinnacle 365.
Today just flew out this morning to go see Davis.
Oh, okay, good.
A little road trip home. All right, we're back at Meese Field over at St. Mary's High School. We go to the top of the third. Both these pitchers working through it. Neither one. Mark, I tell you what, we haven't seen much hitting of the baseball so far.
A couple of long flyouts by the challengers to center field, but nothing other than that, really. Neither team has a hit so far. Both pitchers doing a good job of mixing their pitches, breaking balls and fastballs to get guys out, get them out on their front foot.
The Crusaders got their run courtesy of Ian Lawrence being hit by a pitch, then came up with a stolen base and then advanced and then ended up coming around on an infield error by the Challengers. Right now, Aldrich picking up where he left off, ahead in the count. 0-1.
Breaking ball for a ball, 1-1.
C.J. Bonner playing second base for the Challengers. One of the young guys on this roster, and a young team for Cascade Christian. Only 2 seniors, Austin Waits and Cody Reese.
Another changeup, it looked like that time, fouled off down the third baseline. 1-2. Aldridge doing a good job of mixing up his pitches and keeping those Cascade hitters off balance.
CJ, his sister Mackenzie, really doing a nice job leading the things offensively and playing second for the Challenger girls softball team.
A nice play there by the shortstop. Throws out CJ at first base for the first out of the inning.
CJ Segalink taking care of CJ Bonner.
CJ gets CJ.
And that brings one down, and the number 9 hitter for Cascade Christian, Keith Reed.
Ball one, I think it must have been a little inside because it looked like it was certainly the right height.
Yeah.
Another one inside for ball 2.
Reed looking at pitches, trying to work that pitch count up a little bit.
I think the catcher might have got hit a little bit. It looked like it didn't hit his glove square or something on that last pitch.
This one popped out of play.
Breaking ball, and Keith a little out in front of it after he saw the 2 fastballs for ball 1 and 2. A little ahead of that breaking ball. Kind of a surprise pitch and a 2-0 count to throw a breaking ball. I'm sure Keith was looking for a fastball there.
Well, that's what you call confidence.
Yeah, when you can throw that curveball when you're behind in the count, boy, that really sets up the fastball too.
2-1 the count to the Challengers quarterback. And that one goes back to the screen.
A little bit of a foul ball, accidental swing there by Keith. Just tips the end of the bat and goes by the catcher.
So that'll even things up at 2 apiece. Top of the third, 1-0 ball game. Challengers still working on trying to solve Mr. Aldrich. One thing that Sutherland was not able to do on Friday.
Ooh, I don't know where that one was, but it's called a ball.
Brings the count full.
In or out because it looked pretty good from here.
And
Keith
Reed
thought he was walked, but he was actually struck out for out number 2. Brings up Cody Reese to the plate for the Challengers, leadoff guy.
0 for 1 on the day. Reese, he'll pile up we don't have the stats, but I have little doubt that he's the team leader in runs scored. Because once he gets on, you got that speed to take those extra bases. And being the son of Dan Reese, you know this kid's got baseball savvy as well.
Smart player.
And this one will kind of land in between. Del Planche has a little bit of trouble with it, and it ends up falling to the turf.
For a hit.
Reese is aboard. It was just one of those, I wouldn't say it's a true, when I think Texas Leaguer, I think it's something that really hangs in the air for a long time. That one just took a dive on him.
Well, and Cody just kind of poked at it. He didn't really swing that hard. And just poked that one into right center for a little base hit.
Tristan Wallace, one of the more dangerous number 2 hitters you'll ever see. He's up to hit.
Ball 1 to him, and Cody probably not staying at first base very long, I wouldn't suspect. We'll see.
Wouldn't think so.
Especially with 2 outs, I would expect him to be running here. and so would Bo Aldridge as he fakes the throw over to first.
You're like, yeah, I see you over there. Yeah, I get the feeling Reese will be looking to test the arm of one Ian Lawrence behind the plate.
Well, and if Cody gets a good jump, he's almost impossible to throw out.
No, he's got insane speed.
Pretty good throw right there, and Cody beats it out. Looks like he might have got hit by the baseball as it spun away.
So that will put the tying run in scoring position with 2 out and a 2-0 count right now to Tristan Wallace, who comes in with 6 home runs on the year, and I have little doubt probably it's a good horse race between he and Thompson in terms of RBIs for the squad. This one hit up in the air out to left field.
Good pitch that time by Aldridge. Gets him out on his front foot, and he just hits kind of a lazy fly ball to left field for out number 3.
So Hamilton there to close the glove on it, makes the catch, and that will end the inning. For the challengers, no runs, 1 hit, and a runner left on. We'll be back after these messages on TableRockSports.net.
Game day or a family get-together. Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
Fuel your daily adventure at My Circle K. Whether it's some Monday motivation to kickstart your day, adding some crunch to your lunch, or fueling up for a road trip, your journey begins with My Circle K, powered by GP Energy.
Brendan Van Voort working out the outfielders. I think he's wanting to make sure he's getting some camera time today. Wyatt accommodating him there. And yeah. Okay, Mom, yeah. Jenny, if you're watching the game, Brendan's at the game.
And he just missed one, and it went over the fence. So there you go.
So that'll bring us down to the bottom of the third. Crusaders leading 1-0.
Number 8 hitter C.J. Segulink up for the Crusaders.
Segulink made a nice play at shortstop in the last half inning. That one fouled out of play.
Not a very big kid either for the Crusaders.
No, definitely has got that classic middle infielder's build. Swings through that one.
That's a curveball. Nice pitch by Owen in the dirt curveball that he swings over the top of and totally fooled him. See if he comes back with a fastball here. Yes, he does, and he threw it right by him. Yeah. 1 out.
So Owen Thompson, other than a wee little bit of trouble in the first inning, and some of it not completely of his own doing, behind in the ball game 1-0. But since about mid-first inning, he's hit stride.
Ball 1 now to the number 9 hitter, Hamilton.
Hamilton playing right field today. Swings at that one, and the count will go even at 1-1. These two teams, they kind of do it in series this year, and they'll see each other again on Friday for a doubleheader that will start at 1 o'clock, game 1, and then game 2 roughly around 3, and that will be over Field 9 at Lithia and Driveway Fields. Still getting used to that. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down in the inning. Thompson brought his lunchbox today, and he's out there getting it done in workmanlike fashion.
Well, you mentioned it. He works quick, and he's been ahead of the hitters so far and doing a real good job of sort of just throwing to the glove. You get in the box, and he's ready to go.
Swing and a miss, strike 2, and then in the first, Johnson 0 for 1 on the day, if I remember correctly.
Yep, struck out in the first to open the game.
And now we got a pitcher's count at 0-2. That one called the ball.
Oh, boy. Owen and Tristan both thought that was going to be strike 3.
And I might be inclined to agree with them on that.
You could see Tristan hold the ball in the spot behind the plate, thinking that he might have got one there, but Johnson lives for another pitch.
A little line drive out to left center field. That'll fall in for a base hit. So Johnson gets aboard on his second at-bat of the day, first hit of the ball game for the Crusaders.
And that ball was up in his eyes, and he still managed to get his bat on top of it. Nice piece of hitting by him to put the Crusaders on the hits board here in the third.
Johnson, one of those guys that you'll also see pitch for the Crusaders. We saw a little bit of him, I believe it was in relief of Aldrich on Friday against Sutherland. That'll bring up Ian Lawrence, who scored the lone run of the ball game after he got hit by a pitch from Thompson. Goes to the plate, taking off is Johnson.
And he's out.
And he's got the second runner thrown out by Wallace. And that will end it for the Crusaders. No runs, 1 hit, and a runner thrown out at second. We'll go to the top of the fourth. Challengers trailing in this one, 1-0. We'll be right back in 1 minute.
Life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Back here at Miggs Field in Medford, the home of the St. Mary's Crusaders. And it is St. Mary's leading in this ball game. They came in with 4 losses on the season in league play. A record of 12-6 overall on the season. And the Challengers, just 2 losses overall on the year and 1 on the season. So this would be huge in terms of tightening up this race if Aldrich and the Crusaders can prevail today. And so far, looking pretty good.
Pitchers do a 1-0. And that run coming without a hit by the Crusaders in that inning. So a nice job by them of a walk and a stolen base and a sac fly and an error on the Challengers to give them their 1 run in the inning, in the first inning, as a matter of fact.
1 up. Well, 1-0 here in the fourth, and Challengers come to the plate. And, well, we've got, Thompson leading off here in the fourth?
Yeah, it looks like it.
If I haven't completely lost track. A little hard to make out on the...
You are correct, according to my scorebook anyway.
That sounds about right, because if I recall correctly, Tristan hit that fly ball.
He did, the fly ball to the left.
Yeah.
Ball 1 to Owen. Make it 2. Or no, it called a strike, excuse me, 1-1.
So Thompson going to try to see what he can do here to help his own cause here. He'll let a little bouncing ball down to second base. Throw across the infield is in time.
Yeah, that was a little surprising. I thought Owen might beat that out, but a nice play there by the second baseman for St. Mary's. Gomez
making the play there, throwing over to Johnson. Nice tall target there at first base. So with 1 down, that will bring up Cole Shields. Shields, the left fielder. And another guy who can muscle it.
Actually, it's Austin, I think.
There. You're right. Got ahead of myself there. But
Shields is up next. You are correct about that, but we got Austin up right now.
Well, now one thing I can say was correct about that is Waits can also hit it out.
He can hit the ball. There's no doubt about that.
Austin Waits, senior, one of 2 seniors on this Challenger squad. He can also pitch and threw a nice complete game against Brookings Harbor on Friday. He's ahead in the count right now, 2-0, and he'll hit another bouncing ball. And
over to C.J. Sigalik, who takes care of business over there.
So Aldrich doing a pretty good job of inducing ground balls, and maybe that doesn't matter quite so much in this, but if he got runners on, he's a guy that can maybe coax a double play when needed.
Well, he's got the Challenger hitters a little off balance, as we mentioned earlier, and that time Austin just rolled over on that one and hit it to the shortstop.
First pitch, swing and a miss.
Threw that one right by Cole Shields with a big fastball.
Aldrich. He doesn't have to, but he pitches out of the stretch.
Well, I think he's more comfortable doing that, and he's throwing strikes. Hard to argue with what he's doing, isn't it?
That's right. Well, and there's just some pitchers that just simply prefer it.
Yep.
I suppose it's better than the other way around when you got a guy who's completely uncomfortable throwing out of the stretch.
3 pitches and a strikeout right there for Cole Shields, and the Challengers are down in order.
So 1, 2, 3, the Challengers go. And we'll go to the bottom of the 4th, and the Crusaders sailing along in this pitcher's duel. We'll pause for messages, and we'll be right back after this timeout on TableRockSports.net.
See it on national TV all the time. They tell us that funerals can average between $7,000 and $10,000. At Conger Morris, a full-service funeral, including a wooden casket, is only $4,900. We can keep our prices lower because we're local. In fact, we're the only locally owned, family-run, full-service funeral and cremation provider in the Valley. Call us today to schedule an appointment for personalized assistance with our caring staff. Conger Morris, we'll always be there.
The Start Something New sales event is going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from our great selection of new Jeep Grand Cherokee L 4x4s. Test drive a new Ram 1500 and see why Ram is Motor Trend's back-to-back 3P Truck of the Year. And remember, we've added the convenience of test drives from your home and an online process to purchase and deliver your new vehicle. Get a Start Something New deal on every new vehicle in stock, only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
Yeah. So the Crusaders going to see if they can't extend that 1-0 lead that they have. And coming up, Thompson falls behind in the count right now, 2-0.
To Lawrence, the number 2 hitter.
Lawrence, lone run of the ball game for the Crusaders. He was hit by a pitch and got aboard, and then he stole a base, moved up, and then came on board when we had an error on the infield by the Challengers. Count now even at 2-2.
A couple of good fastballs from Thompson to get back in the count. And then that one he just lost on a break-in ball.
So that'll take the count full at 3-2.
And if you're the hitter here, you got to believe he's coming with a fastball. That's what only thing he's throwing you for a strike in this at bat. So infielders, be ready. He got him on a little aimed pitch. He just tried to throw over, and he chased it for a strike out.
And then that one briefly got away from Wallace, but Wallace the throw down to first, and he records the out. One down in the inning, and that will bring up the number 3 hitter, Bo Aldrich.
Guy you kind of want nobody on base when he's up.
Yeah, to say the least.
Probably the best hitter on the Crusaders team.
He's a heck of an athlete. There's no question about that. He goes ahead in the count 1-0 against his opposite today. That one down in the dirt. Took kind of a funny hop way up in the air. And
I think it might have hit the plate, actually, is why he did that.
You catch it just right.
And back part of the plate and take that off of Tristan's glove. That high bounce. Thompson's having a little trouble finding the strike zone here. 3-0 to Aldridge.
So a hitter's count for Aldrich. He was taken all the way on that one. And sometimes you do that, and, you know, it's some with some hitters in some situations you might say, if you see something good, go ahead and hit it. In other cases, you have them take all the way.
And he walks him with the next one.
So with one down, we got a runner on.
Only been 3 runners in the game so far, and Tristan Wallace has thrown 2 of them out at second. See if they try it again. Kind of curious to see that, considering that Wallace has thrown out the last 2.
Yeah, I might think twice about maybe a situation where crime doesn't pay. Aldrich takes the lead. Ground ball at the shortstop. Reese going to throw across. And the throw
is a little bit late.
Yep.
And that's a base hit.
So an infield hit for Eli Haynes. And now we've got runners at first and second with 1 out in the inning and an opportunity here for Aiden Gomez. And I'll tell you what, if Coach Aldrich, Josh Aldrich, has an inclination towards playing small ball, this is a guy that you can count on to lay down a good bunt.
It doesn't look like he's bunting right there as he takes the first one for a strike.
0-1 the count.
But that doesn't mean anything. Still could bunt here with a strike.
Well, I imagine that's for you maybe with already an out in the inning, differing philosophies about at what point would you sacrifice and at what other point you might not.
Typically with 1 out, you're correct. You would not sacrifice in this situation with 1 out. If you had no outs, you probably would.
Ground ball. Plays at second.
And they do get the out at second. However, Gomez beats it out at first, so he's on the fielder's choice. And that goes 4-6 on the out at second base. So runners at first and third now with 2 outs. And the batter, Russo.
And Russo, probably one of those guys that, he represents some danger in terms of a guy who can bring somebody home. So Thompson with his work cut out for him, but 2 out. First one fouled out of play. That's going to almost...
That's a good hard fastball that time from Owen. And Russo a little behind that one. He fouls it off back onto the football field.
Thompson looks to Gomez over at first.
Curveball. Ooh, awful close pitch. Called a ball.
That curveball, you talk about pitchers who can change speeds. I tell you what, there is a huge difference between that curveball and that fastball.
Absolutely, as he throws a fastball a little bit low, 2 balls and a strike. Now, if you're going to steal a base, here's a count to do it in, or maybe hit and run here. That's why I think they're going to have a little discussion out on the mound. Make sure that Owen pauses and takes a second look at the runner at first, because it's a perfect hit and run count right here. If you're the Crusaders and you want to put somebody in motion, this is a count to do it on.
Well, and the thing you got to like about this squad, and really it's on both teams, that you've got some guys with some real baseball savvy all around that infield. Baseball isn't just something they do in the spring, that they really know how to play the game.
And now it's ball 3-1. So I would suspect you might even have a take here. Take sign. We'll see if Owen's got to throw a strike here. Tough situation for him.
Thompson comes to the plate.
Strike 2. I don't know where he's going, but that's a strike.
Russo maybe pleading a case there.
Trying to sell his point, I guess. But full count now. We'll probably have the runner at first moving. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't go in this situation. Foul ball. Oh, no, strikeout, excuse me.
And they out at first.
It looked like he fouled it off, but I guess just dropped by Tristan.
So that will end the Crusader threat. Thompson and the Challengers work out of a jam. We'll go to the top of the 5th. It's a 1-0 ball game. We'll be back with more after these messages.
Time is a good time to plan your funeral, except at the time of the funeral. At Conger Morris, we know that there are so many advantages to planning ahead. It eases the burden on our families at their worst time. Pre-planning also alleviates their stress, knowing the funeral costs are already taken care of. And it allows your service to be more meaningful, with all of your wishes being taken care of. Call us today for personalized assistance in creating your own plan. Conger Morris, we'll always be there.
So he's over 60 now. He's at 63. So he won't be pitching on Saturday.
Challengers coming up here in the top of the 5th inning. While they've had difficulty trying to solve Aldrich, they still have opportunity as Thompson and the Challengers work their way through kind of a challenging inning last go-around as Ashton Moody comes to the plate, and he hit that big, long, loud out to center field in his last plate appearance.
Yeah, he certainly did, and that I'm still convinced that might have gone over the fence if it wasn't caught.
So a nice play by Haynes for the Crusaders, playing center field today.
And Aldridge is really pitching a great game against the Challengers so far.
Moody, he's a guy who can throw for the Challengers and gives them a little bit of a different look as a left-hander.
Yeah, imagine he will throw the first game on Saturday probably.
And he's had a little bit of a calf issue on Friday that took him out of the game early, but the report from home is he's doing better. No ill effects. They just took care of it over the weekend, and he's good to go. 2-1 the count, so Ashton Moody ahead. He'll look at that one, and the count runs to 3-1. Moody, he has twin brothers who also are part of the program. Cameron and Dylan over on the Challenger bench. It was a nice turnout for baseball this year, Mark.
Yeah, there was, and they've actually played a few JV games too, I believe.
Count now runs full at 3-2, so the payoff pitch on the way.
And a walk.
So Moody gets aboard.
I think the first one of the game issued by Aldridge.
I think you're right. And so with Moody on, the number 6 hitter, Liam Bonatti will come up. And Bonatti, one of those guys that will give you some power. Now a little discussion on the mound between Coach Aldrich and the pitcher, and it looks like
well, they're gonna do the pitching change because Aldrich getting close to that count.
And
29. 29 and 25 by my count. 30 and 25 is what, 55?
Yeah.
So
they want to save him.
They want to save him to pitch some on the weekend. So they're going to take him out before he gets to the 60 pitch count. And they're going to bring in, it looks like the first baseman. Johnson to pitch.
So what we'll do is while he takes his warm-ups, we'll take a quick 30-second spot, and then we'll be right back here at TableRockSports.net.
Game day or a family get-together. Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
Fuel your daily adventure at My Circle K. Whether it's some Monday motivation to kickstart your day, adding some crunch to your lunch, or fueling up for a road trip, your journey begins with My Circle K, powered by GP Energy.
Ball game here, trailing 1-0, and Aldrich coming out, and now Johnson throws over to first, and get in under the tag is Ashton Moody.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit, but the pitch count's obviously playing a big part of high school baseball, and a nice bunt by Liam.
And who says big guys can't bunt? And Benatti doing a good job of laying one down there, and he will move Moody into scoring position. And now with one down, that'll bring up C.J. Bonner.
And great bunt that time by Benatti. Did his job, got the runner in scoring position for Bonner, and another bunt.
And that one.
Foul ball.
And the fouled off, and so now the count 0-1. This is kind of what we're seeing here. This is one of the reasons why I love watching high school and college baseball. Is this is an art you don't see practiced nearly much at the major league level these days. These days it's all about launch angles and bat velocity and all that stuff. And now we're here we still see small ball played.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got a little conference going on between the runner and the batter and the coach over there in the third base coaching box. Probably a little discussion about how this is supposed to play out. So maybe the bunt wasn't on there. Don't know for sure, but I think they're trying to get everything straightened out before this next pitch.
So C.J. Bonner up, the young second baseman. On deck is the center fielder, Keith Reed.
So Bonner with one strike after the fouled bunt attempt.
Next pitch. And now Bonner falls behind 0-2. That one in the dirt. Moody goes.
And Moody does a nice job of picking up a base on a pass ball.
Well, and then what that does now is now you got to think the name of the game here for Bonner is to make contact.
Yep, just get the ball. Although the St. Mary's is bringing the infield in, and that ball's outside, evens the count at 2-2. Or you could do a squeeze or something. That gives you a lot of options here with Bonner at the plate. And Bonner strikes out.
So Bonner will go down, 2 out in the inning. And that will bring up
Keith Reed.
Long, lanky.
Well, looks like we're going to have maybe a pinch hitter. Not sure. Is that still Keith?
Looks tall enough
Looks
to be
like
him.
it is. Thought I saw somebody else over there for a minute.
Patience there on the part of Reed. He looks at a pitch and gets ahead 1-0. Moody at third, 2 out.
Good swing by Keith that time, but just behind the pitch, 1-1.
Hits have been a challenge to come by for Cascade, who in the opener against Brookings Harbor knocked around 12 hits in the opener and then had 8 in the nightcap, but weren't able to do much in terms of putting runs on the board. But kind of a quiet ball game, a little bit more like the Bruins game on Tuesday. Swing and a miss. Count 1-2 now with 2 men gone, and Moody, who drew the walk, over at third. That one low. That'll even things up now. Johnson. That one beat into the dirt. And hustling is Reed. And we have a run. Keith Reed, who showed some, for me, sneaky fast running skills in football season.
Well, and you know who that is? That's not Keith Reed.
Oh,
that's Jack Nips.
Jack Nips.
Jack Nips is the one who beats it into the ground for the Challengers. Thought they subbed somebody in there.
Yeah. My apologies, Jack. Jack Nips. Now, you know, he's going to give me a bad time about that tomorrow. See him at school. Should have known. Well, you see, the thing is, I would have known by the mullet, but the helmet does a good job of hiding it.
Yes, it does.
So now with 2 out in the inning. So nice job there by Jack Nips to leg out an infield hit that brings Moody home, and we have a tie ball game.
Nips with the single on the dribbler down the third baseline, and you said it, brings in Moody to tie the game at 1.
And so that'll bring us to the top of the order, and Cody Reese. Reese looks at a pitch. So the responsibility for the decision out of the hands of Aldrich now. The pitcher of record for St. Mary's will be Johnson. Count now goes 2-0. And in the typical style of the leadoff hitter, Reese looking for his pitch.
Another good count to do a hit and run on here.
That one.
Fouled off.
You can just hear that ping.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just not quite the contact he wanted, and now it's a 2-1 count with 2 out here in the inning. And Nips the runner at first.
A good ball game so far, 1-1 here, late in the game, and that one he
swing and a miss, and that was a
close play at first. 2-2, back pick there by the catcher, and
well, sometimes you can do that. You'll catch that runner napping, and Nips made a nice move to get back.
Cody Reese swung at a pitch in his eyeballs that last one.
Runner goes.
And strike 3.
Swing and a miss. And that will end the Challenger threat in the second, but not before they put a run on the board. One run, 1 hit, no Crusader errors, and we'll go to the bottom of the 5th, and more knotted up at 1 apiece. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
At 3 o'clock, Carter's campaign for class president will go live. His platform?
Thirsty for change?
Juice boxes for all. At 4, Liz will bid online and win.
Yes! Yes!
Which is why at 2, I'm down the street preparing for the storm. So no matter what, the show will go on.
Daily adventures start right here at Pinnacle 365. You'll find exactly what you need for your morning motivation. Later in the day, add some crunch to your lunch with crispy, crunchy chickens, mouth-watering chicken, and chicken tenders. Wherever your next adventure takes you, we're here to keep you energized throughout the day. And our new Peak Rewards program helps you save money on fuel so you can travel further for less. Daily adventures are better with Pinnacle 365.
Segalink and Hamilton.
So there you go. First three hitters of the inning, Del Planche, Segalink, and Hamilton. The bottom third of the Crusader batting order. And Owen Thompson, Kevin Schaefer, riding along with his ace here in this ball game.
63 pitches so far unofficially through the 4 innings for Owen Thompson as we start the 5th.
Now, what did you say the next signpost for him was? Whether you got past 75?
85 is the next one. And really for him today, he can't pitch. Now he's gone over 60, so he can't pitch on Saturday. So he can pretty much go clear up to the limit, which is 110 pitches. So not a big chance of him getting anywhere close to that unless things change drastically here.
And he's working on efficiency here and quickly puts away the hitter Del Planche
on 3 pitches.
And now that will bring up C.J. Segalink, the shortstop. Seen him make some nice plays on that Crusader infield this afternoon. That first offering from Thompson,
a little bit
up
high.
in the visor.
Yep, a little bit high.
So 1-0 count to the shortstop. That one will be fouled off to level the count. So aces are wild. 1-1, 1-1 ball game with one down.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
Segalink with Hamilton on deck.
Yeah, it's the bottom 3 of the Crusader lineup here against Thompson.
Ground ball hit second base. Bonner will field it. Throws across to first. 2 up, 2 down. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
And now if you're Owen Thompson, you just want to get yourself out of the inning with the number 9 hitter right here. And don't mess around with him.
Hamilton, the right fielder. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Nice fastball there by Owen Thompson.
Pounded the mid on that one. And 2
another
pitches,
one.
2 strikes. Next offering,
Got
1, 2, 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
Yeah, 2 strikeouts in the inning and a quick 9-pitch inning for Thompson.
Doesn't get much better than that. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll be back with the top of the 6th tie ball game here on TableRockSports.net.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
Leading off, right?
Yes, we do.
So for the challengers in the top of the 6th inning, they will come with some power against Johnson. It'll be Wallace, followed by Owen and Waits.
Yeah, and the challengers, this is their inning, I think, really. They need to get some runs here in the 6th. They got the heart of the lineup up against a new pitcher.
Johnson in relief of Aldrich, the starter. I got to imagine for Bo that was tough to leave that in such a close game, and pitching so well, but you face so many interesting decisions as a coach with the use of pitchers.
Well, and especially in the New World Order where it's completely based on pitch counts. And he threw 54 pitches, did Aldridge, which makes him available for Saturday to pitch again against the Challengers.
And that's going to be one of those situations that he will be out there. He has really been on fire these last several weeks as Wallace gets ahead in the count. It's now 2-1 after the strike from Johnson.
Johnson a little more of a fastball pitcher. Looks like he just has a fastball and a changeup maybe. It's behind 3-1 now here.
Wallace, ground ball, bouncing ball out to second base. Gomez across the infield, and the throw is in time.
Yeah, Gomez gets to a lot of those balls that look like they're going up the middle. He makes a nice play on that one and just gets Tristan Wallace by a step.
Owen Thompson, the starting pitcher for the Challengers.
Takes a ball up high.
So he'll be ahead in the count at 1-0.
Another one up high.
And I don't have a count on how many home runs, but he has multiple homers on the year.
Takes a breaking ball or a changeup for a strike.
Now, if there were a guy on this Challengers team that was born to play baseball, it was definitely Thompson. Yeah. Played a little basketball for you back in the day, though.
Actually, a very good just an athletic kid. He was a very good basketball player, too, but he basically loves baseball more and sort of gave up basketball to play baseball. And he gets a walk. And that's what the Challengers need, some base runners.
Little stroll down to first. Runner on with one down. RBI possibilities for Austin Waits.
See what the Challengers do here with an out. Wouldn't normally try to bunt somebody over with one out, especially with a good hitter like Waits at the plate. Steals a possibility, obviously, with Owens got some speed at first, and they're going to check on him.
Throw over to first from Johnson.
Challengers with just the one stolen base so far by Cody Reese.
I would say it's not a nothing lead he's taking, but by the same token, I would say he's, maybe you'd call this a measured lead. Now a ground ball hit down to third base, play down to second. They erase the lead runner, and Waits will get aboard on the fielder's choice.
Both teams playing good defense so far. We really haven't seen any major errors other than the one that allowed the Crusader run in the very first inning. Other than that, both teams doing a good job of making plays out here.
Waits, an all-state tight end for the Challengers during football season, and we have a pinch runner for the Challengers. Nikhil Joseph. His sister Neha, a mainstay in the basketball program, also played softball. Now she's matriculating at Corbin. Nikhil, I wouldn't say I was an assistant coach for the boys soccer team. He played soccer as a freshman, and unfortunately we weren't able to field a team this year. But he swam in the winter, and he's come out for baseball here in the spring. Head in the count, Shields. Pitch comes to the plate, line drive, it falls in, base hit. So 2 men aboard here with 2 out, and Ashton Moody, who's thinking, I'm going to get this thing over this time.
Shields with stayed on a little bit of a breaking ball. and just lashed it into left field for a hit.
So the go-ahead runner in scoring position, Nikhil Joseph. Over at first is Shields. Both of these guys can run. Johnson ahead in the count at 0-1. Looks at a ball. That'll even things up. We talked about Reed, the starting quarterback, earlier. The reserve quarterback, the JV quarterback, is Moody, or was Moody this last year.
Strike on the outside corner. Nice pitch that time by Johnson. Give him the advantage here at 1-2. Fouled off.
So he'll stay alive at 1-2. And, would they roll a hit batsman?
Oh, he must have hit the catcher's glove.
Okay.
He must have hit the catcher's glove.
Catcher's interference?
Catcher's interference gets him down on first base. That's the only thing I can come up with, Jim.
We'll go with that. Our story, and we're sticking to it. Liam Bonatti will come up.
With the bases loaded.
2 down, so he's going to need to reach.
He has a sacrifice bunt and a ground out to third so far. Takes the first pitch high. Obviously a walk will do the same thing.
Yes.
For the challengers. And the good news is, just in this inning too, the challengers going through the batting order. And a single.
Base hit for Liam Bonatti, and the challengers take the lead.
Little base hit right to the left or to the right of the shortstop. He's able to get over there and get a glove on it, but just knocks it down, not able to make a play. And everybody moves up a base, and the challengers take the lead.
Froze the play-by-play guy there, and challengers take the lead in the ball game, and station to station they go. So the bases remain loaded.
With Bonner at the plate.
Bonner with a 1-1 count now. 2 out in the inning. Beats this one into the dirt. Johnson fires over to first. And that will end it for the challengers in the inning, but they pick up the go-ahead run as Liam Bonatti drives home. Was that Tom? Or
it was Joseph, but actually Waits.
Okay.
Waits' spot in the order. I'm sure Waits is going to re-enter back. Yeah, you can see him going back out to third base. But Joseph with the go-ahead run for the challengers on the single by Bonatti. He just beats it out on a little ground ball toward the shortstop. So challengers with the 2-1 lead.
A 2-1 ball game as we now go to the bottom of the 6th. And Owen Thompson, well, I guess, you're kind of at this point in the pitch count. You might as well just go ahead and ride your horse.
Yep, that's exactly what you're going to do. And let him finish the ball game if he can. Right now I have him at 72 pitches after 5. And we talked about 110 being the limit. So he's got quite a few to go here in the ball game, as he just wants to be efficient in these next 2 innings, and hopefully the challengers can get him some more runs as well.
Owen Thompson.
Top of the order now for St. Mary's. Johnson, the batter.
And he pitching now in relief of Aldrich. He started the game at first. Thompson has Johnson looking on that one. Count goes 1-0.
Curveball a little bit outside, it looks like. 2-0.
So Johnson knows a thing or two about the strike zone. Trying to work it here. A little line drive. That one
foul.
Wide of third.
Nice little change up there by Thompson. Gets him out in front. And he hits a foul ball down the left field line.
2-1 the count. 2-1 is your score after Liam Bonatti hit the go-ahead run in.
Curveball for a strike. That was a good pitch. Good pitch.
We have seen good pitching today.
By both teams.
Throw down to first.
Strike out and a throw down to first just to complete the play as ball was in the dirt. Tristan Wallace, doing a great job of blocking the ball out in front of the plate, picking it up and making a play down at first for the first out.
Well, there's a stereotype, the old neighborhood stereotype of the catcher, and we'll leave that to the imagination. But when you have a good catcher down at the high school level, it really says some good things about your team and really alleviates, I'm sure, a lot of stomach upset for coaches.
Oh, absolutely. When you have someone like Tristan back there, that ball was in the dirt. He blocked it perfectly right in front of the plate, stepped out in front and made a beautiful throw. Gives your pitchers a lot of confidence that they can throw whatever they want, whenever they want. And that's the beauty of having a catcher like Tristan. 2-1 now on Lawrence. He's ahead in the count.
Give a nod to one of the guys from your team, Buster Posey.
Yes, exactly.
Just recently retired. Great career and another one of those athletic catchers. But, man, I tell you what, that does put some wear and tear on your body.
Absolutely.
Oh, the joys of being young. Swing and a miss, and the count goes full.
And Lawrence has been a little bit of a tough out so far for Thompson. He walked him in the first inning, and he scored the lone run for the Crusaders, and he got him after a 3-2 count in the fourth inning. He struck him out, but he took him to a 3-2 count here again in the sixth.
Fly ball out to right field.
Dropped by Moody.
Moody and Reed there, a little bit of trouble. So a two-base error. Looked like a little bit of maybe communication trouble, and that's just,
Well, he looked at his center fielder right at the last second, kind of took his eye off the ball and ends up falling to the turf. And a two-base error puts a runner on second with one out, and Aldrich at the plate.
Guy you really don't want to see in that situation if you're the Challengers. Aldrich hits one, base hit.
Single to left field.
And they'll hold the runner at third. So now runners at the corners. The tying run at third with one out. And the go-ahead run, Aldrich down at first. That'll bring up Eli Haynes, the center fielder.
Haynes knocked in the first run in the first inning on a ground ball to third and hit a ball to second base for a force out at second.
Okay. Kevin Schaefer there, he's the first-year coach for the Challengers, going to come in and a little conversation on the hill.
Yep. Take one of those mound visits off the board.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't really needed to today, but, you got a situation here, no doubt, among the infielders, a little bit of a discussion on a ground ball, what's going to happen, and, got to be thinking what, they play the infield in here at this point?
Yeah, I would think you would. You might play second and short back if you wanted to play a double play, or maybe middle depth to go for the double play in the middle. Haynes, though, a fairly quick runner, so might be tough to double. We'll see what the Challengers decide to do here. Looks like they've got the middle infielders back in the corners in right now. And there's a bunt. That is going to be foul.
Foul down the first base line. Haynes is like, thought I had that.
Well, he almost rolled back in play. It's one of those deals where Tristan, good hustle by him to come out and hit that ball when it was foul, because it looked like it was starting to roll back in toward the fair line. Back over the line. And remember, if it does that, it's a fair ball. So good hustle by him to keep the ball foul. 1 strike now on Haynes. See if he decides to do the same thing here. And it's another bunt attempt. It's a ball outside.
That'll even up the count at 1-1. Haynes the hitter, Gomez on deck. Russo in the hole. Thompson. And
strike. Strike with a ball on his eyes, and he's swinging at it. So 2 strikes now. Might be less likely to see a bunt here. Ball in the dirt. Nice job by Wallace, keeping it in front.
Nice job of blocking the plate.
2-2. Big pitch right here for Owen. You really don't want to go 3-2 in this situation.
No.
Curveball outside, and he does go 3-2. So I suspect you're going to see Aldridge running here, and I would like to see the challenger infielders in, because they're not going to get the guy at second if he's running, which he probably will be. Nope, not running. Foul ball.
So Haynes staying alive here, 3-2, working a good at-bat, and the challengers trying to do what they can to keep this from becoming, once again, a tie ball game. Now you can hear that breeze kicking up really gusty-like over here. Thompson.
Walked him.
And the bases are loaded with 1 down. And that will bring up Aiden Gomez.
So now the infielders on the corners should be going home. Looks like the middle infielders are going to play mid play for the double play. Mid depth, I guess I should say, for the double play. Corners are in, first and third, and you really got another bunt situation if you want to do it here.
Right.
With Gomez. And it's a wild pitch.
Wild pitch, and the runner
scores.
Comes home, and it's a tie game.
And Owen getting a little antsy on the mound there. He's got to stay with his routine, and that pitch was well wide of Wallace, and there's nothing he could do about that.
So now you have runners at second
and third.
So first base is open. And that one out of play.
Count 1-1 now. Gomez trying to bunt. The runner in from third. And it's Aldridge now at third base. Haynes at second.
And that one just looped out to right field, base hit. 1 run will score.
And then I don't know what Liam Bonatti was doing there. He needs to throw the ball home. The nice play by Ashton Moody getting the ball to him, and he doesn't throw it home, and they score 2 runs.
So 2 runs will score for the St. Mary's Crusaders on a hit out to right field by Adon Gomez.
Yeah, a little blooper right over the first baseman's head. And Gomez with the big swing there to put the Crusaders ahead.
Thompson now working to Grant Russo playing third base. Count 0-1, just 1 out. And now count even at 1-1.
So Gomez just stuck the bat out there, basically. Got it on the baseball and hit it right over the first baseman's head for a little bleeder single. And that's the big hit here in the inning as the Crusaders take the lead 4-2.
Well, and what I've seen from Gomez, from watching him play on Friday and then today's game, he's that quintessential little middle infielder who good bat control, middle infielder that can make plays for you. So 2-1 the count. Thompson comes to the plate.
That's a strike, 2-2. Some activity in the Challenger bullpen as this has been a big pitch inning for Owen Thompson, as it looked like he was cruising to what would have been able to be a complete game had he not fallen into the trouble he's fallen into in this inning as he throws another ball.
Count now goes full at 3-2. Starting to warm up on the Challenger bullpen, Cole Stofflin. Russo awaiting the payoff pitch from Owen Thompson.
And he walks him.
And Russo's aboard now.
So runners at first and second with already 3 runs in for the Crusaders in the inning. And just 1 out for Owen Thompson.
Tyson Delplanche will now come up for the Crusaders. Opportunity to get his team a little more breathing room here in the bottom of the 6th.
And he's laboring out there a little bit, not finishing his pitches over the top of his front leg. And everything's up right now for him.
Count 1-0, 1 down. Delplanche playing right field.
He's bunted, and Owen Thompson has thrown him out at first, and he's struck out so far in this one on his 2 at-bats. And Owen right back with a strike after a little discussion, a little pep talk from Tristan Wallace, and that was a good-looking pitch.
The count now even, and Thompson trying to work his way through the jam.
And he throws another strike, getting ahead 1-2. And whatever Tristan Wallace told him, he's just pumping right now.
That one fouled out of play. Delplanche stays alive.
Thompson still ahead in the count 1-2 and needs to get a couple outs here to get his team back in the dugout, just down by the 2 runs.
Thompson.
Ooh, close pitch. Close pitch. 2-2.
That'll even things up now.
And he got
swing and a miss. Strike 3. Big out there for Owen Thompson.
2 hits and 2 walks in the inning for Thompson has been his demise. And, of course, an error for the Challengers didn't help. 2 walks, 2 hits, and an error so far. And Challengers still not out of the inning.
Segalink shows bunt.
Pulls it back for a ball.
So Russo, the runner at first, he's got pretty good speed.
Shows bunt again. Takes another ball.
Gomez in scoring position down at second, and now a 2-0 count to the Crusader shortstop.
3-0.
Hitters count.
These are the kind of innings that really frustrate you as a coach when you have a pitcher that just can't seem to throw strikes. This will be his third walk in the inning if he walks. And finally a strike.
So now we have a 3-1 count. Yeah, we have a little bit of sunshine popping back through the clouds. Had a little bit of everything out of the ballpark, and
he walked him. Third walk of the inning for Thompson.
So Segalink gets aboard. His patience pays off.
And the number 9 hitter for the Crusaders, Hamilton, at the plate with a chance to really open this game up.
Hamilton will foul off the first pitch. Showing a little aggressiveness there. Now, wait a minute. Bouncing ball.
Off of Owen, and no one's going to get it.
So getting aboard is Segalink. Had me there for a second. It looked like that.
I thought they walked him, but
yeah,
apparently not. We missed that somehow, I guess.
So the long and the short of that is that we have the bases loaded
now, which I had him loaded one pitch earlier.
Thompson, who up until this inning, having a great ball game and had a few unfortunate breaks not go his way, and then just get to a point where, you can just kind of get the feeling that he had worn out. He was just out of gas.
Mm-hmm.
And now that'll bring on Cole Stofflin, who has seen a pretty fair amount of work in relief for the Challengers, and he's in a bit of a pressure situation here now, trying to stop the bleeding as his team now trails by 2 with the bases loaded and 2 gone. St. Mary's holding down 4th place in the league, but what will happen is if they can prevail here, one of those teams that are ahead of them, tied for 2nd, I'll double check here. If I'm not mistaken, they're playing each other today. So that would move up the Crusaders, keeps them very much in the
hunt.
thick of things. Here in Special District 4. Double checking our standing here. See if we can also maybe pick up a score as well. But a 4-2 ball game, and the Crusaders clawing and fighting their way into the lead.
And 40 pitches for Owen in the inning. That puts him at 112 unofficially, which is as many as you can go. So he has to come out after that batter, and Stofflin has to come in as he is out of pitches for the day.
Yeah, the Crusaders came into today's action at 5-4 in league. The Lancers and Bruins at 6-3. The Challengers at 8-1. And now it's Hamilton will come to the plate.
The base is loaded. 4-2 in the 6th.
Taking a look at today's schedule. And
the ball thrown to Bonatti at first base, and he can't corral it, and another run comes in on the back pick for St. Mary's.
So trouble at first base.
Yep.
And the Crusaders now extend their lead to 3. South Umpqua and Brookings Harbor playing each other today, and then as the Challengers and Crusaders regroup and play each other again for a twin bill on Friday, the Bruins and the Lancers will do likewise. So these next couple of days will have a real big bearing on how the standings shake out.
And the Challengers kind of putting themselves in a tough position if they end up losing this game.
Stofflin comes to the plate. Strike the call. Count now goes 3-1. And he
gets him.
And he gets him. That'll end the inning. But not before the Crusaders put 4 runs on the board and take the lead at 5-2. Challengers have one more opportunity to right the ship, and we'll be back with that call after these messages.
Gather and memories are made. Tap Rock Northwest Grill.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Sherm's Thunderbird Market has been serving Southern Oregon for over 50 years. We are thankful and proud to be able to say that our employees are like family, and we certainly couldn't serve Southern Oregon so well without them.
I love my job, and what better place to work than for the people who care about you and your community.
We really are treated more like family.
Back at Meese Field, top of the 7th, the Challengers. One last chance to try to rally their way back. First pitch as Johnson continues on in relief of Aldrich.
And I believe that is Keith Reed up there this time.
Yes.
Johnson's done a good job so far in relief of Aldrich.
He has.
Given up just two runs to the Challengers.
Johnson. In terms of the pace, takes a little more time. Reed back in.
Ball 2. A little outside it looked like.
Are you going to make Johnson pitch to him?
Good idea in this situation. Another ball, and it's 3-0. And a leadoff walk would make this a very interesting inning coming up.
Sure would. Cody Reese on deck.
And there's a strike. Taking all the way, Keith Reed. He probably is taking another one, would be my guess, but we'll see.
And now the count goes full at 3-2. And like you say, Reed looking at it like he was taking all the way on it.
And he walks. So good lead off at bat by Keith Reed, and that brings up the top of the order in Cody Reese.
Challengers with a hill to climb, but they've taken a big step forward with Keith Reed down at first base. And now Cody Reese up to bat.
And a strike to Cody.
Johnson promptly gets ahead in the count. Reed.
And Cody with a little dribbler. But again, catcher's interference, I think, because Cody's tromping on down to first base.
So Cody on down to first, and now we have 2 runners aboard. And the tying run up at the plate, and you-know-who.
At least I think that must have been, again, it looked like a weird swing from Cody, so I'm guessing catcher's interference, and Cody's on first. It was obviously a foul ball. I don't know what else it could be.
Wallace. And it's this a big hitter for Johnson to take on.
Oh, good pitch by him, a changeup for a strike.
Wallace looked like he was trying to tie the game up there.
Yeah, and he was way out in front of that one.
Swing and a miss.
1-2. Looks like he's still a little out in front of it. And he gets him.
Wallace strikes out. The big strikeout for Johnson against the dangerous power hitter of the Challengers. And that'll bring up Owen Thompson. And he's another guy that can make things happen at the dish.
Starts him off with a curveball.
1 out. Runners on first and second. Thompson. Good eye there. Evens the count up at 1-1. Johnson.
Takes a look back at Keith Reed at second.
Yep. Good patience there by Thompson, and he's ahead in the count, 2-1. Next offering.
Curveball for a strike. Good pitch that time.
So Johnson, now the pitcher of record.
And the Challenger runners move up on the
wild
pass
pitch.
Ball or wild pitch. Now base hit. Gets the Challengers within 1. Count runs full to Thompson.
Payoff pitch coming.
Got him.
Swing and a miss. Johnson now with 2 big strikeouts in the inning.
Yeah, and that was ball 4 to Thompson. And he swings at it, unfortunately, for the Challengers. And
now the Challengers down to their last out, and looking at Austin Waits for the Challengers.
And I think we got a pitch count issue again coming up for.
And that
so Eli Haynes, it looks like, is coming in from center.
So the Crusaders with pretty good pitching depth.
Well, what they're doing today is they're using everybody they got in this first game and not letting anybody go over that pitch limit, so they can all pitch again on Saturday, which smart play by them. It also kind of mixes up the Challenger hitters in that they get to see 3 different guys pitch in this game. So it's going to come down to Waits with 2 outs, trying to keep the Challenger hopes alive here.
Haynes coming in from center field, and Haynes made that big play defensively, robbed Ashton Moody of a home run.
Oh, absolutely. Nice play by him. Gets back to the wall and makes a catch right in front of it.
Now he has an opportunity to pick up a save.
A 1-out save at that.
Yeah, I was thinking a lot of relievers will tell you those are the best kind of saves to get. And the coaches would agree.
Haynes kind of an over-the-top guy, so you have to It's a little tough to pick up the ball because it kind of comes from behind his head. So you really got to pick up that spot where he's throwing this from. And so Austin Waits now with a chance to at least drive in 2 and make this really close.
Well, you know he can toss. He played quarterback for the Crusaders back in the fall. And now here with 2 out in the inning, the Challengers with runners at second and third. They trail by 3, so Waits up at the plate represents the tying run.
Yeah, nice base hit by Waits will get the Challengers close, and then they got to trust the rest of their lineup to get Waits in to tie it back up again.
First pitch, a ball.
And a strike.
Wow. Waits looked like he kind of
ducked out of the way, and curveball came across for a strike. Then he swings at one in the dirt.
So now the count goes 1-2.
Time to recollect yourself if you're the batter right here, as you let the curveball go by for a strike and then take one in the dirt and swing at it for strike 2. So refocus here if you're Austin and see if you can find something you can hit. And he looks at strike 3.
So the St. Mary's Crusaders come away the victors by defeating the Cascade Christian Challengers by a score of 5-2. The winning pitcher is Johnson. Haynes picks up the save, and taking the loss for the Challengers, a rare loss. The overall, just the Challengers' 3rd loss of the season, and their 2nd in league play. So again, a reminder for you as we wrap things up here, and I guess, well, why don't we go ahead and do this, Mark? We can just kind of recap the game, just a little bit in terms of I suppose just kind of wrapping things up that for a good pitcher's duel by Aldrich and Thompson, going toe-to-toe throughout. Hits hard to come by for both teams.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of opportunities, and an unfortunate error for the Challengers in the infield set up the opportunity for a score, and then it ended up being, I suppose you could almost make a decent case for Haynes, being, one of the central characters in the game in terms of delivering the first run of the game,
mm-hmm.
and then making the big defensive play out in center field, and then the coming in to erase the last hitter of the ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. He had a very good big impact on the game from all angles. The Challengers with just the biggest surprise to me is the Challengers with just 3 hits today, off of St. Mary's Crusaders' 3 pitchers, and I think that's really the difference. The Challengers sort of pride themselves on being able to hit the ball, and today they really did not do that. Just the 3 hits and just the 2 runs. So a really good job pitching-wise by the Crusaders. Really dominated the Challenger hitters today, and then the 1 inning that really sort of. You're right. There was the initial run in the first inning on the air, but also in that critical 6th inning where the Crusaders scored 4 runs off of there were an error, 2 walks, and a couple of hits. To get those runs in, and anytime you give a team extra outs, you're usually going to pay for it. And the walked batters and the extra outs really turned into the demise for the Challengers in that 6th inning.
Yeah, well, and indeed it did. It's a tough break because that Thompson, up until that 6th inning, had a very strong, very solid outing. But that's where, again, you can counter with the Crusaders. Not only did Aldrich had a fantastic ball game, and though he gets a no decision, he set the stage, and then Johnson comes on does a nice job to pick up the victory in relief, and then Haynes able to finish it off. And the proof in the pudding, they limit the challengers to just 3 hits on the day. And, if you're the challengers, the silver lining in this is you're still in first place in the league.
Yep.
Now you have a situation where there will be another team besides the Crusaders with 4 losses on the campaign.
Yep.
And then a team with 3, and then the Challengers now with 2 losses in league play. But it does kind of put the onus on them to really come out and take care of business on Friday against these same Crusaders.
Yeah, you lost your margin for error is basically what it comes down to. The Challengers win this game. They only have to win 1 out of 2 pretty much to put themselves in really good position to win the league championship. Now they almost got to win 2 on Friday. So it's going to be an interesting series to follow come Friday. Absolutely.
Well, I tell you what, it was a heck of a game to call, and it was a lot of fun working with you this afternoon, Mark. And our thanks also to Wyatt Rainey doing the camera work for us today. And again, a reminder coming up on Friday is both of these games will be offered at TableRockSports.net as the Challengers and Crusaders square off for a doubleheader. And again, we got word yesterday from Challengers Athletic Director Nate Maben that the games have been moved. It's a minimum day over at Cascade, and so they got the earlier start. So the game first pitch will be at 1. And then the nightcap scheduled for 3 o'clock. So that'll wrap up things here. For Mark McLemore and Wyatt Rainey, I'm Jim McCoy. Thank you for joining us. Have a great evening, and we look forward to being with you Friday.